Hi everybody! Today we're gonna make a Pac-Man game. You know, it's that game where you have a yellow character moving in a maze and you have to eat all the food before you are caught by the ghosts. As you will see, for this kind of game is quite a simple tutorial and the result obtained is very decent. So if you're ready, let's get started. We're gonna begin creating the food. So I'm gonna get rid of the cat, paint a new sprite, which is gonna be a small circle, no outline. Okay, good, bigger. This big is not bad. So let's code. Well, let's call it food. And when green flag clicked, we're gonna go to, this position more or less. Let's round it a little bit. Okay, so we're gonna go here and we're gonna be moving and creating clones. So basically, create clone of myself and we're gonna move 30 pixels. So change X by 30. How many times are we gonna repeat this? Let's try with 15 times. Okay, that's good. Maybe 16, because the clone here hasn't been created. So, yeah, that's right. So now we're gonna go to the next line, and going to the next line means this. We're gonna set X to -225 again, and we're going to move down like 30 pixels. So we're going to change Y by -30, and we're going to repeat everything like 12 times. Let's see. Okay, that's perfect, but probably you're wondering if we can do this automatically, instantly, and the answer is yes. I'm gonna go to my blocks, and I'm gonna create a block called create food, and important, run without screen refresh. So this is going to be here. I am going to hide the original sprite, and when I start as a clone, I show. When green flag clicked, create food, which is all this. So let's see, green flag, food created. You see? So now it's the moment to make the maze. So let's go to backdrops. And we're gonna create the blocks, the blue blocks, that will make up the maze on the food, as I'm going to do. Look. Do you see the idea? So, well, later on we will remove these dots so that there's only food on the spaces. Okay, so more or less I have half of the maze, and now look, I'm going to select everything, copy, paste, flip horizontal, and I move it there. I'm gonna put it here, and everything is done. maybe this one has to be adjusted. But here I have the maze. So as we said, probably you are wondering, and what with this? Okay, easy. We're going to do this. When I start as a clone, before I show, if touching blue color, delete this clone. Very simple. If touching blue, delete this clone. And then show. So, green flag, and here it is. So, now I'm gonna make this black, send to back, and the food can be now white. So with this done, let's make Pac-Man. Paint, and let's create a yellow circle, a little bit bigger. Okay, this big could be good, a little bit smaller maybe. Yeah, you have to make sure there's enough space for Pac-Man to go through the different walls and so on, okay? So I have this one, make sure it is center, this is super important. And now look, I'm gonna convert to bitmap, right click, duplicate, and in this copy, I'm gonna take a line, 1 pixel wide, let's make it black, and I'm gonna make like the mouth of Pac-Man. Now paint bucket, and I'm gonna make it black. You could, if you wanted, use this to remove this, but I'm not gonna do it because this is going to help us a lot with the collisions. So my recommendation is that you leave it this way. Obviously here you're not gonna see it because the background is black, okay? So Pac-Man is created, and how is Pac-Man going to work? Well, when green flag clicked forever, we're gonna move 4 steps, but if touching blue color, he's going to move negative 4 steps. So it's gonna go back if touching blue color, so that it cannot go through the wall. And after this, super simple. Well, maybe at the beginning it can point to the right, okay? And now we do this. If key up arrow pressed, point in direction 0. I duplicate. If down arrow pressed, that direction. If right arrow pressed, this direction. And if left arrow pressed, that direction. And with this, I'm able to control Pac-Man. Okay? More things. I want Pac-Man to move the mouth. So I'm gonna make a parallel program, super simple, forever, next costume, and wait something like 0.2 seconds, okay? And here I have it. Where is Pac-Man going to start? Let's make it. He's going to go to random position, but if it is touching blue color, it is going to go to a different random position. I'm putting it here because I want to be done instantly. So I'm gonna make a block called place. We're gonna run it without screen refresh, and place is gonna be this: go to random position, but we're going to repeat go to random position until we are not touching blue color. So not touching blue color. and now place is gonna be here. So you see, whenever I click, it goes to a random position. I thought I had fixed this, but it looks like I haven't. So no, Pacman is working, but he's not being able to eat the food. So let's go to food and let's code it. So the food is gonna do the following. When I start as a clone, well, delete if touching blue color, and if not, show, and forever if touching Pacman, we're going to delete this clone. It's this simple, and you see that Pacman can eat the food. But we need to count how much food Pacman is eating. So we're gonna make a variable called score, and I'm gonna make another variable called food. Food is going to calculate, is going to count how many dots we have on the screen. So, well, at the beginning we're gonna set food and score to 0, but when food shows, we're gonna change food by 1. That way, we clearly see that we have 122 dots on the screen. If Pacman is touching food, well, a dot, we're gonna change score by 1. So, as you see, as we are eating, score is increasing. Alright, I don't need this variable anymore, and I need score, but I'm gonna make it a large readout that is gonna be here. Okay? What else? Well, when we change score by 1, if score equals food, which would mean we've eaten all the dots, we're gonna broadcast victory, and later on we will see what we do with that message. Okay? So, simple. If score equals food, broadcast victory. And that's gonna be checked before we delete this clone, okay? So that's great, everything is working, and now we need the ghosts. So let's create them. Paint. Let's take, I don't know, red. Circle, red circle, and with a rectangle we do this. Okay, I think the size is good. Oops, I'm gonna make it slightly smaller, center it, and let's add some details with the rubber. Slice. Okay, so the ghost is done, and I'm gonna duplicate several times, basically to change color. So I want one green ghost, another one like purple. Oops, I've changed the same one. And another one like, I don't know, maybe orange. Good. So this is ghost. Let's configure it. I'm gonna make a block which I'm going to run instantly, and this is gonna be create ghosts. As they are gonna be clones, I'm going to hide the original one, and we're gonna do the following. We're going to go to a random position, the same thing we've done with Pacman, but we're going to repeat this we're going to repeat go to random position until we are not touching blue, obviously. So not touching blue. And we're not touching Pacman, because if we're touching Pacman at the very beginning, we lose instantly. So, and not, let's put this here, not touching blue color and not touching Pacman. After this, create a clone of myself, and we're gonna repeat this 4 times. Also, after creating the clone, we're gonna put next costume, and that way, when I click on green flag, I create ghosts, and when I start as a clone, show. Let's see. Okay. Okay, do you see the 4 ghosts in different positions? That's good. Oops, I forgot one thing. Here in the maze, we need a blue outline. So I'm gonna make it now, okay? I'm gonna take this tool, no fill, but the outline is gonna be blue. So, well, let's make it over here, and let's make sure it is correctly placed. Here, here, there. Okay, let's continue with the ghosts. What are they going to do when they start as a clone? Forever, they're gonna be moving. Not as many steps as Pacman, but 3 steps. Okay, Pacman was moving 4, if I'm not mistaken. If they're touching a wall, so if they're touching blue color, that's why I wanted blue color here as well, okay? So if touching blue color, they're gonna go back 3 steps, but they're going to turn. They're going to rotate. So obviously, I want them to rotate either 90 degrees or 180 degrees or 270 degrees. So they are pointing upwards, right, left, or downwards. All right. So how do we do that? They're going to turn. I'm going to multiply 90 by a random number from 1 to 3. So if this is 1, they're going to turn 90 degrees. If this is 2, they're going to turn 180, and if this is 3, they're going to turn 270. So that's the idea, okay? Let's see. Okay, let's see if we can solve that problem with this. Now that works perfectly, but not here. I'm gonna make the outline thicker. Let's see now. Okay, now they do not get stuck. Cool, that's perfect. And now, obviously, if touching Pacman, we're gonna broadcast it here. Defeat. When they receive defeat, we're gonna delete these clones, and also when we receive victory. And in the case of Pacman, when I receive defeat, I'm going to stop its movement, which is here, stop other scripts in sprite. If we receive victory, the same. And let's create a sprite with this one. You say you lost. Or yeah, and let's, well, this is gonna be defeat, and now duplicate. This is gonna be victory, and he will say you won. Let's enter. When a green flag clicked, we hide. When I receive defeat, I switch costume to defeat. I'm gonna create the typical animation that we do, set size to 0, show, and we're going to repeat, let's see, 20 times, change size by 5, doing this. And if I receive victory, switch costume to victory, and the same. I'm going to make it go to the center. Okay, that's great. And I think we can try the game. I think everything is ready, but let's see. Okay, I'm getting points. If I touch one of the ghosts, you lost. And I cannot move it anymore. Okay, before we end the video, I'm gonna give you one idea that you can use or not, it's up to you, to make it much more difficult, but much more difficult. And it is very simple. I'm gonna go to ghosts, and when I start as a clone, I'm gonna add like a simultaneous program, which is gonna do this. Forever, well, wait 1 second, and it's going to point towards Pacman. With these, they're gonna be tending to go to Pacman every second. So you will see that this makes it much more difficult. I'm gonna stop here and you will see that they end up coming to me. You see? So it's much more difficult to run away if we add this part, but well, that's up to you. Okay guys, so this is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Try to make the game at home. I think it's quite feasible and the result obtained is great. And if I see you like this video and this game, I will probably make a second part where I will add some more improvements. For example, the typical dot that when you take it, you get the superpower of being able to eat the ghosts. That's one idea. And I could add more levels and more mazes and so on. So well, that's up to you. Have a nice week, guys. Bye bye.